Okay, folks, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Opali Presents Know Your Pros. Today's guest, Kerry Fries, the owner and CEO of Powered by the Sun. Kerry's business is a solar brokerage that offers solar panels from tons of different companies. They can set your home up with solar inverters, a storage battery from Tesla if you want, and he even works with lenders to finance your journey into the solar-powered future. With over 13 years of experience, Kerry helps customers find the best solution for their specific needs. He works with you, folks. Kerry, thank you so much for joining us today on Know Your Pros.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, Kerry, I don't talk to a lot of guys in your field in the solar business, so I'm really excited to have you here today because I want you to kind of describe to our viewers what it is your business at Powered by the Sun offers. But before we do that, let's get into how it was you started in this game. There are lots of guys, they seem like they're a dime a dozen on LinkedIn these days, who start their own solar business or their own solar brokerage, but you've been doing this kind of since the beginning. Tell us how that started.
Yeah, for me, I had worked for a bunch of different major companies and just started realizing like the expectations, the constant grind that's never doing enough, do more, constantly holding over my head that if you don't do better, we're going to let you go. It was just that frustration. And so I decided that I was going to start my own company and allow myself to be my own boss. And it's a challenge when we do that, but this allows me to have that freedom of I get to work when I want to work and have that freedom to be able to be there for my clients. And if it takes me a week or 2 weeks to close them, I'm not having somebody breathe down my back of why it's not closing faster. If it happens in a day, we congratulate them. But that part of that stress takes away from me. And then it gives me that freedom to be with my family when I need to be, and I can work wherever I want to go.
Right. Well, and I imagine too, it translates into the type of service that you deliver to your clients because you're not like working on some quota that, boss man is breathing down your neck onto you. You're able to give somebody something that they actually need or is within the parameters of what they're describing to you. Something I really love about, what you do too, Kerry, is that you don't just talk the talk, but you walk the walk. You're a guy who's got two Teslas parked in front of your place in Camarillo. So to me, that answers the second question of why this industry, but it feels obvious, right? Like you're a guy who really believes in a solar future.
I do. I believe in a renewable energy future. I believe that we have this big, bright thing that rises in the sun, that rises in the east and sets in the west every single day. Why not harness that power? I have a meme that I have that it shows this big ball and says, "How can this not power this?" And it's a little dot of the earth, right? And so we can capture that energy, and in that energy, we can be able to shift that over and make sure that we are good to go. It's clean, it's renewable, it's things like that. It's one of my passions behind it. And it also impacts what we do. Every time we put a solar system on a roof, we're putting on thousands of trees back into the earth. Not literally, but that's the reverse effect of what it does, like a small forest. So why not do that for my daughter, her kids, their kids, their kids, and so on and so forth.
Right. I mean, it is impactful when you put it that way, that this is setting people up for the future and putting us on a more renewable path down the line. I love that journey for you, Kerry. I wanted to talk though really quickly about, why is it that somebody should call Kerry versus that next guy? We already talked about like how you are a broker, but you've got your own company. And you're not beholden to any bigger force here. You're here to give people what they actually need. So describe that to our viewers. Like, how is it that you are different than the next guy you might see all over social media?
Yeah, first of all, it's about how I connect with my customers. That part of it, I'm here to listen to what you want and what you need. This is not about me, right? And that's the first thing I make sure that my customers let them know about is I'm here to give you what you want. And then I'm here to guide you along those processes. And then on top of that, it's the communication, the expertise. It's a construction project, and there's a lot of nuances that happen along that. And there's a lot of these guys that get into the industry for a year or two, and then they struggle, and their customers feel lost in the process. I spend a couple times a week going through each one of my projects, and then making sure they're on track, talking to my project coordinators, relaying that message to the customer. There's a lot of downtime in this industry. I make sure that you are knowing what's going on at all times. That's really the difference. It's that customer experience part of it. And part of my journey when I worked at one of the solar companies, I was a customer experience manager, and I know how it feels to get lost in the shuffle. So I make sure you don't feel lost.
That's nice. And you've got a lot of different offerings too. This is kind of a bonus question, but like in terms of what you're most often getting people into, I mean, what do you find most attractive to folks now? I mean, the panels are obviously like number one, but give us a shakedown of some of the recent projects you've done for folks.
Just different things like from doing a battery backup or just installing with roofing or, they have a difficult roof situation. So we were able to do a specialized install to make sure we protect the roof, a ground mounted system, making sure that. And then like I have a customer that's in Santa Rosa Valley and right here in Camarillo, and they have like pipes and they have pipes that we found out that's underneath the ground and how we're doing it. And we are being strategic on how we can still match that ground mount and get the efficiency that he wants and be creative with that. And those are things like a lot of companies don't do. They would just cut bait, walk away, see you later, have a good time. This guy really wants to go solar. So we've come up with creative solutions for him to kind of make this for him. And that's where my creativity comes into play that I do for my customers.
Very nice. So, I mean, that's what you can really sort of expect when you call Powered by the Sun, not just a vendor or a broker for your solar situation or your renewable situation. You're looking at a partner really here in Kerry Fries. Kerry, you work with clients, locally to Camarillo, but you service clients nationally throughout 22 different states. I know that's only growing as the days go by. So tell our viewers, where is it that they can get in touch with you and your business? How can they have a conversation with you?
Yeah, the best way is just call me on my business line. I do have a website, solarpoweredbythesun.com. I am working on getting that better. When I'm a small business owner, you learn and take lumps and learn how to do things better. But my business and my customers are number one. So always calling me is the best way, 805-338-5527. You can call or text me. Texting, I get back a lot faster because it's right there in front of me. It's also on my computer. I can also shoot it out when I'm on a Zoom call. I can respond to things on top of that. But yeah, that's 805-338-5527. We are going to work in 2023 to kind of move this into another generation by adding in my LinkedIn and my through LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. That is coming here in the next 6 months. But currently right now the phone at 338-5527 area code 805 is the best way.
Well, I like that because I'm a phone guy. I'm always wanting to case people out and figure out what they're all about before I actually start to do business with somebody. The best way to do that is always the phone. And that's why we do this show here at Know Your Pros. We want to allow people to know who it is that might come by, walk into their house, and understand them that much better. So, Kerry, I don't think that we could do a better job than what we did with you today, man. For those of you who are curious, all of Kerry's info is going to be in the description of this video. So please reach out to Kerry any way that you can. Call him or text him. That's the best way. But until then, Kerry, thank you so much for being a guest here on Know Your Pros, man.
Thank you for having me.
Know Your Pros!